All right, so I would like to, without further ado, I would like to welcome our next speaker. Permit me to read this wonderful bio. Wow, it's indeed loaded. Yes, so for our next speaker we have the pleasure of having with us Charles Sukanmi Obisesan. He has a mandate to raise change agents globally in accordance with Matthew 5:3 to 14, Matthew 5:13 to 14, and John 9 verses 5. A pastor and a chartered accountant of over 30 years and a certified personal finance from Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, USA. Pastor Charles is a teacher, coach, and an author. He is the host of Change Agent, a weekly online publication that is aimed to cause positive change to lives. He also hosts the Wealthy Forever, a weekly platform on where he teaches personal finance principles. Pastor Charles trains professionally on organizational excellence, organizational health, personal finance, leadership, and people management. He is the author of the best-selling book, Wealthy Forever. And with us today is Pastor Charles Sukanmi Obisesan. Please, I implore you to utilize this opportunity. Welcome, sir.
Thank you everyone for this great privilege, and thank you so much, Pastor Steve and Pastor Araba, for this great privilege. Don't start timing me yet, but I want to say this. Very many years ago, when I got close to Reverend Sam Adeyemi and got close to Daystar, by that time he had left. Every time I will keep hearing, do you know Pastor Steve? You must know, because I know almost everybody. I know everybody. So, about you must know Pastor Steve. If you know Pastor Steve, you know, I know you must know. I said, who is this Pastor Steve? They said it's church, it's at Oba. Who is this Pastor Steve? I never knew that one day our paths would cross. And then there was a day I saw Pastor Araba. You know, her blonde hair distinguishes her.
Wow, that's my mama. That's my beautiful mama.
I just said myself, I'd like to be a friend to this woman, to this lady at that time. You know, I didn't know who she was, but there's just this ambience about her. And then I got to meet Pastor Steve. You know, we were on the same board for some time, and then there was the time of my challenge in my life when I lost my wife and things were really down. And one day he just called me aside and said, "You're not yourself. You're not yourself." I smiled. I said, "I am not myself." That was over 2 years after I lost my wife. Even though I'd remarried at that time. And from that time on, he took it upon himself to be praying together with me. From that time, I mean, it's like there is hardly anything I cannot share with Pastor Steve. That's how closely knitted we are now. In fact, even Pastor Araba is, that's how closely knitted that we are. There's, if we want to do anything in our family, I want to invite only 5 people. They will be there. Now that's how deep our relationship has become. And for me to be standing here, I was asking myself, don't tell me yet. I was asking myself that I will ask you, why do you keep inviting me? Because I just keep wondering, why is this man? Because Pastor, I'm sure you know your pastor is so deep. Pastor Steve is deep. And Pastor Araba is deep. She doesn't talk. She doesn't like talking. But I really want to appreciate God. I said all that to say that I really appreciate God for this relationship. And I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. And I believe that whatever it is that you've seen in me will keep getting better and better. In Jesus' precious name. You know, one of the things about life is that God said to me, He said, pray that you will never know your value so that you don't become proud or prideful. Then pray that you will know your value so that you don't underrate yourself. Very important. So we thank God for this wonderful time and for everyone that is here. Now, hearing Pastor about teach and hearing Pastor Steve teach tonight, I just said to myself, what am I going to say? You see, Proverbs 17 verse 16, Proverbs 17 verse 16, he said something very important. He said, why is there the price to purchase wisdom in the hands of a fool, seeing that he has no heart to it? Where is that the price? Proverbs 17 verse 16. Where is that the price of the price to purchase wisdom in the hands of a fool, seeing that he does not have the heart to do it? You know what that means? That means that it is useless to pay your transport fare to this place, to sit down and waste time if you know you are not going to do what you are hearing. Please, don't just write it down. Run with it. I plead with you, run with it. So that it will not be a waste of your time and not be a waste of our time also. We want to see at the end of this year, people at the first assembly and others who are joining us online and who are guests here, soaring on eagle's wings. Amen. That's the ultimate goal for this seminar. Amen. Amen. So my topic is get ready to run. I would want to read the scripture, Habakkuk 2 verse 2. I'll read it from the New King James Version. It says, then the Lord answered me and said, please, when my fight time is 5 minutes more, let me know. Please, once just do this 5. So that he said, then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. That he may run who reads it. So it is not writing and reading to sit. It is writing so that you may read and then you have to run with what you have read or with what you are reading. So you can say read to run. It's read to run, or write to read and read to run. I want to start with a story. The topic, my topic is get ready to run. I want to tell you a story. In 1968 Olympics, there was this guy from Tanzania. His name is John Stephen Akwari. John Stephen Akwari ran in the 42-kilometer marathon race. And because he was not familiar with the terrain, because of the high altitude, which he was not prepared for, that's physical preparation, he was not prepared for that altitude. So along the line, he cramped up. To cramp up means that he had this sharp, terrible stomach pain as he was running. But John did not stop running in spite of the pain. And then when they got to about 19 kilometers in the race, some guys were joking for positions because, and as they were joking for it, they hit John, and John fell hard on the hard surface with his shoulder. He fell hard on the surface with his shoulder, and then he got hurt on his knee, and then his joints dislocated. Now, every other person had left him behind because of the pain in his knee, the dislocation of his joints, and then of course the pain on his shoulder. Okay, they had left him, and then don't forget, he still had this cramp in his tummy. But then John did not stop. He got up and continued. And then every other person had gone and they had run and they had finished the race. In fact, the first person finished the race in 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 26 seconds. 2 hours, 20 minutes, 26 seconds. And then, of course, the medals had been awarded, and everybody had, but then there were still about 2 or more thousand people in the stadium. And then suddenly, they saw a guy running, or should I say, limping towards the finish line. And when they saw him, they said, this guy is one of the participants, one of the competitors. And so people got up from the table, from the seats. Everybody was clapping and clapping and clapping and hailing this guy who was limping towards the finish line. And of course, he crossed the finish line in 3 hours, 25 minutes, and 27 seconds. 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 1 second after the person that finished first. If I don't mention the name of the man who won that race, you will never remember. Nobody even try to remember who won the race from, the guy, I think, something worldly from Ethiopia. Nobody tried to remember, but people have not forgotten John Stephen Aquari up to now. Now, then the journalist asked Stephen at the end of and called him and said, "Hey, John, why did you finish the race? If the race had finished 1 hour, before you came, why did you still go ahead to finish the race?" You know what John said to them? He said, "My country did not send me 5,000 kilometers to start the race. They sent me 5,000 kilometers to finish the race. That's why I kept running. Not just to start, but to finish. Because it is easier to start than to continue. It's more difficult to continue than to stop. It's easier to start than to continue. It's more difficult to continue than to stop." Friends, please listen to this. No one is smarter than you. No one is smarter than you. In fact, let me say, you are equally smart. Why do I say that? See, the person that appears to be smarter than you is not because he is smarter than you, but because there is something that went amiss along the way. Why? Because I know this, my Bible tells me that the rich and the poor have this in common. They have one thing in common. The Lord made both of them. So they have commonality of originality. They have commonality of source. But then I'm also told by the same Bible that the rich became and the poor became. The rich became and the poor became. So the question is, what happened to them? What happened to them? See, I have about 20 reasons why I can prove that no one is smarter than you, but then time will not permit us to go into that. Now, but the point is, one of the major reasons why I say that nobody is smarter than you, because if anyone appears to be smarter than you, is because, number one, the person made a choice that he didn't make. And choices have consequences. In fact, there is no indecision, because everything that you do, whether you decide or you don't decide, you have decided. Whether you decide or you don't decide, you have decided. So there's no demilitarized zone. There's no middle way there, because you either decided to do this or you decided not to do it. So it's because they made a choice that you didn't make. Now, but this one is the one I believe so much. It's because, number two, they know what you don't know. The reason why someone appears to be smarter than you is because he knows what you don't know. Because, if you know better, you do better. If I know better, I will behave better. Now, there are some things that, now between the time that I started relating with Pastor Steve and now, that I have learned that I didn't learn before, now those things have made me to be better. I didn't know them before. And you know, people, now, if you don't know what is happening, you think nothing is happening. Hello? Now, how many of you know that something is happening here now? But some people don't even know that anything is happening. Why? Because ignorance because they're dwelling in in a place of ignorance. They don't know that this is happening. But you know that it's happening. But it's one thing for you to know, but it's another thing for you to do something with what you know. So the reason why some people appear to be smarter than you is because they know what you don't know. That's why you have to crave for more, to know more. You know, he said you must cry after knowledge. Cry after it. Now, but then I also understand that another reason why people appear to be smart, to be smarter than you, even though they are not, is because they know and understand what you know, but you don't understand. They know and understand. Now, some of you even know about goal setting. How many of you've heard of goal setting? Come on now. But there are some things you don't understand by goal setting before today. Am I correct? Oh, come on now, come on. Am I correct? Yes. But by reason of what you have heard today, you have had a clearer understanding of goal setting. So knowing is one thing, understanding is another thing. Now, see, between knowing and understanding is a very wide gap. But between understanding and application or wisdom, there's a very thin line. So a lot of people know, but very few people understand. And so the people that know and understand, they appear to be smarter than those who know but don't understand. And then there are other people who know and understand, but then they don't do anything with what they know and understand. So the reason why some people appear to be smarter than you is because they do something with what they know and understand that you are not doing. Are we together? Yes. Are we together? Maybe another day we'll talk about the other reasons. But one of the major ones is to do something with what you know and understand. In fact, when you know, seek to understand. Because understanding the heart of man is like deep waters. Am I right? It's like deep waters. That's why this seminar is very important, very crucial. And so we're looking at today, we're looking at get ready to run. Now, 3 words are crucial in that topic. Get ready to run. 3 words are very crucial to me in that topic. One of them is a phrase of 2 words, and then the other one is just one. The first one is get ready. Somebody say get ready. Get ready. Oh, could you let me say to yourself, get ready? Get ready. Now, so that's get ready. Then the second one is run. Get ready, run. But I want to address the run first before I address the get ready. Run. Question is, why should I run? Why run? See, today is what's this date? Today is 5th January 2024. Now, whether you like it or not, January has started. Whether you like it or not, 2024 has started. Am I correct? Whether you like it or not, 2024 is going to end. Am I correct? Yes. It's going to wait for nobody. Yes. So why do I run? I run because time is of essence. Time is of essence. Why do I run? Because success is time sensitive. Destiny is time sensitive. That's why Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, he said, to everything there is what? There's a season, and a time for every purpose under the sun. To everything there's a season. So that means that if you miss the season of a thing, you lose the reason for that thing. You lose the why of the existence of that thing. So to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose. So there is a time, there's a timeline, the time for that thing to be accomplished. There is a time for that company that God has placed in your heart, for it to be registered and it to be executed. There is a timeline. If you miss that time, you have to wait for another cycle. There's a time. Moses and Israel, 40 years before Moses delivered them, he appeared to save them. But because of some things that happened, they missed that time. They had to wait for another cycle. You understand that? They had another cycle of 40 years before this guy came. And then, may you never miss your time.
Amen.
Because destiny is time sensitive. Why do I run? Why do I have to run? I have to run, number 3, because some people's destinies are attached to my achievements. Some people's destinies are attached to my achievements. Sorry that I'm not staying behind the only, some people's destinies are attached to my what? To my achievement. So if I don't do it, some other people's destinies are going to be imprisoned. If Pastor Steve did not answer this call, maybe some of you will not be born again. Do you understand that? Now, right. Some of you that have companies, maybe if you had not started that company, some of the staff that you have employed may not have even dreamt of having any job at all. Maybe there could be beggars on the street or something, and their families will be languishing in poverty. Why? Because somebody was not running with that which God has given him. Let me say this, people of God. Another reason why you have to run is because you don't have the exclusivity of idea. You don't have the exclusivity. You don't have the exclusivity of the idea. You don't have the exclusivity of the opportunity. You have the exclusivity of the access. You don't have the exclusivity. What I mean by that is that as you got that idea, on the platter of grace, somebody has gotten that idea also on the platter of sweat. You got it on the platter of grace. Somebody has gotten it on the platter of sweat. So, if you don't run with what you have gotten by grace, the person who got it by race will meet up with you. And if you are not careful, he will meet up with you and overtake you, and then will now turn back and employ you. And by the time he starts it, by the time he executes it, they say, are you guys thinking you? And that's the same idea I had 5 years ago. What did you do with it? Because it is time sensitive. God is not prodigal with his blessings. I get myself. God will never be prodigal with his blessings, and God will never waste his resources. So if he gives it to you on the platter of grace, and you are not doing anything with it, he look for someone else who is in the race, even though he's not born again like you. Oh, are we still friends? Oh, are we still friends? Even though that person is not born again like you, it looks for him and says, hey, this guy is ready. This guy is ready. This guy is in the gym. This guy is getting himself ready. So the way he's going, he will do well with this thing. So give it to him. Now, whilst you are still sitting down procrastinating on the idea, saying, well, it's too big. I don't know what to do. I don't know how. And then you are still praying and fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, the guy is not even praying and fasting about anything. He just, oh God, help me now. He just goes and consults with what do you call that thing now? With a team, and picks their brain, say, hey, what do you think about it? And then he consults somebody, maybe a mentor or someone. I say, what do you think about this? I say, I've done this kind of thing before. Yeah, if you do it this way, do it this way, this way. And then the guy just goes ahead and implements it. and then you are still praying and fasting. Meanwhile, from the first day you started praying, God has answered. And you heard He answered, but here you are. You didn't do anything with it. And then the person who didn't even pray got on the path of grace and then implements it. And God says, oh, that's good. And then, be fruitful, multiply. And then it goes on and it goes on. And so you have in your hands, I don't know how many of you now who have in your hands, you have Apple phone, iPhone. Am I right? Come on now. Am I right? Yeah. You have Samsung. Am I correct? Yeah. You drive Ford. Am I correct? Most of those people that own those things are not born again like you. We're talking about running because idea is time sensitive. Destiny is time sensitive. You don't have you and I don't have the exclusivity of any idea. There are some ideas I had years ago, 10, 15 years ago, I was toying with. Now, when I had those ideas, sir, nobody had started going to schools to teach. Well, maybe one or two, or maybe this started, but not many people have started going to schools to teach young children, on self-development and all those. None. But you know what happened to me? I slept with it, and I slept on it, and it slipped out of my hands. Today I'm like, and I had that idea. Oh, sorry. It's not about having the idea. It's about doing something with the idea. Are we still friends? Get ready to run. That's why you have to run. That's why you have to run. See, it is risky to be getting ready. It is safe to live ready. Risky to be getting ready. It's safe to be living ready. But the comfort that we have in God is that the morning dawns when you wake up. Are we together? The morning dawns when what? When you wake up. So now this is your waking up time. So Pastor Steve and Pastor Rabba and I, we have come to wake you up from every slumber. To just wake you up. Hey, get up! Awake! Because your future is knocking on the door. Are we still friends? So when he says run, that's what he's talking about. However, see, when you want to run, you don't just start running. You don't just get up and start running. Now, just like in any venture in life, preparation is crucial. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
You want to get married? You have to prepare for marriage. You want to start a business? You have to prepare for business. You want to go to school? You have to prepare for anything you want to do in life. Preparation is very, very important. And so, I think it was Brian Tracy that talked about the 6 P's of preparation. He says 6 P's of preparation. He said proper, prior, preparation prevents poor performance. Let's say that together. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Now, from this statement, I deduce at least 2 things about preparation. Number one thing I deduce about preparation is that preparation precedes performance. Preparation precedes performance. So preparation will always be before performance. Now, the people that have come to teach tonight, they didn't come they didn't come before you and then they started looking at their notes and read this one and then explain and read this one. No. So you're wondering, why is this thing just flowing? Why is this not flowing? See, you don't prepare on the stage on the day of performance. You prepare behind the stage before the day of performance. Are we together? Are we still friends? Yes, so preparation precedes performance. But then, sir, this one is very important. Preparation also predicts performance. It predicts it. That is, It tells you now. See, your preparation will predict how the performance will be. Well, your preparation for any examination now will predict what way you perform in that examination. In whatever it is that you do in life, your preparation is very crucial. See, that's why they don't just throw you into. They don't just you look, the way you look very beautiful. You can be a very good pilot, and then no. You have to be trained. You have to be trained to be a pilot. And in fact, there's a certain age you get to that I said to you, sorry, you cannot pilot a plane. Am I right? That's a certain age you get to. And I said, no, sorry, we can't do that. Why? Because preparation will predict the kind of performance you're going to get. Somebody say preparation. Somebody say preparation. Somebody say preparation. And so when we talk about preparation, in the affairs of life, one thing we have to know is that, one thing you have to know is what I call from here to there. Here to there in preparation. Now, in every venture in life, you have to look at here, where you are, what you are, how you are, and then there, where you want to get to, what you want to achieve, just like you've heard today, when we're talking about goals and goals and goals and goals, this kind of seminar should be, like Pastor Rabbi should just take a whole day and teach all those things that she taught, and then after each point, give us practicals, and then after that, then maybe Pastor Steve will also come, and then you know why? Because if we keep loading you, we have information overload. Pastor Steve was talking about misinformation, disinformation, then this one is overinformation. Now, so when you look at this, now, see in any venture in life, so whatever you want to do, now there are 4 questions you must ask yourself. Number 1 question is, where am I? Where am I and how am I? That I would say that will answer the question of location and condition. Where am I? Where am I now? Where am I? How am I now? In my profession, in my career, in my business, in my ministry, where am I now? You know why? Because if you don't know where you are, you can never be able to predict where you are going. Where am I now? How am I now? So it answers the question of location and condition. And then number 2 thing you want to ask yourself is, where am I going? Or what do I want to achieve? That answers the question of destination or goal, which we have been talking about, since we came. Destination or goal. Where am I? So where am I now? And then where am I? So this is where am I? That's the question of here. And then where am I going? That is there. There. But then the question is, I want to ask myself, between my here and my there is what we call a gap. Am I right? There's a gap. So this gap is what I need to build a bridge over in order for me to get from my here to my there. And what's that bridge? That bridge is, I need to ask myself, if I want to get from here to there, why do I want to get there? Why? It answers the question of purpose. Why? Pastor, I talked about a lot about that. Why do I want to get there? So we're here today. Why do you want to move from where you are to the next place? Why do you want to move from 1 million, from 5 million naira to 50 million naira? Why? See, because the point is, if your why is not strong enough, you will give excuse and not reasons. Should I say that again? If your why is not strong enough, it's not convincing enough, you will give excuses and not reasons. Now, an excuse complains, as to why you didn't do what you're supposed to do. But a reason explains why you did what you had to do in spite of all the challenges. Are we together? So someone that wants to give an excuse, say, because it rained, that's why I couldn't come to work. Someone that wants to give a reason will say, well, I had to come to work even though it rained. Are we together? Why? So, because my why is what would drive me. My why is what will push me. My why is what will tell me, hey, you have to move, you have to get up from your bed and go for that goal that you have set for yourself. This is where I am, and that's where I'm going. Your why. But let me leave the why, because I'm going to come back to it. Now, but then the other thing is that to build that bridge, you also have to now ask yourself, how? How am I going to get there? Why do I want to get there? But how am I going to get there? How? See, the how is so crucial because the how talks why talks about purpose or answer the question of purpose. Why or how answers the question of strategy. It answers the question of what? Strategy. It answers the question of systems. It answers the question of stamina. That is now to what you need to maintain momentum. Because if you're pursuing your goal, you need momentum in order for you to get there. Let me say this. If you have momentum, success, if you have momentum, now, success looks effortless. Success looks effortless. But if you lack momentum, so now, but your efforts look as if you are not making any effort at all. So you need that momentum. You need the stamina. But apart from that, you also need support system. The people. Who do I need to get there? What do I need to get there? How much would it cost me to get there? So I need to know from my here to my there. What is this my there? What is it? What is my there? And then, why do I want to get to there? How do I get to there? How? What strategy am I going to use to get there? Very important. Now, friends, listen to this. The Genesis chapter 16. I saw a scripture there. Genesis 16, I think verses 8 and 9 or so. Can I have that on the screen, Ma? Genesis 6 to 8. Okay. Now, this is a conversation between Hagar, between the angel and Hagar. The angel and Hagar, that's the servant mother of Ishmael. Okay. Now this was when she ran from Sarah, and then with her child, and she was run away. Well, look at it. Look at what he said. And he, the angel, said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, where did you come from? Did you see that? Where did you come from? Or where are you coming from? And where are you intending to go? And she said, I am what? Let's say it together. I am what? I am running away from my mistress Sarai. And the next verse says, and the angel said, of God said to her, go back to your mistress and humbly submit to her control. Now look at this. Here was Hagar. She said, I am running. The angel asked, where are you coming from? Where are you going? But he asked that two questions, but she answered one question. He answered two. She answered one. You know what happened here? What the angel was saying is, where are you running from? What are you running from? And then what are you running to? What are you running away from? And what are you running away to? But sir, ma, Hagar was able to identify what she was running away from. But she was not able to identify what she was running away to. So she knew her here, but she didn't know her where. So then they said, since you don't know where you're going, go back. Go back. So you see, the reason why most times it seems as if we don't achieve anything is because we know what we're running away from, but we don't know what we're running to. And so because we don't know what we're running to, oh Lord, help me now. That because we don't know what we're running to, we only know what we're running from. We don't know where we're running to. What happens to us is that now, so what now happens is that just like in life, so we know where we're running from, what we're running from. All right? What are you running from? Ask yourself, what are you running away from? What are you running away from? What are you running away from? Why do you want to change that job? Why do you want to get married? Why do you want to? That's it. You need to know what are you running away from. And then you also need to know what are you running away to? What are you running towards? That's your destination. That's your goal. So I'm running away from this, but then I'm running away to this, so that now, see, because I'm running away to this, I refuse to go back to that. Get ready to run. Could I say to your neighbor, get ready to run?
Get ready.
Because you know what you're running away from, and you know what you're running away to. So I'm ready to run, but you see, the thing is that even though I know what I'm running away from, and I know what I'm running away to, I must now ask myself, why am I running away from this? And why am I running away to this? There's a book that I'm writing, and it should be have the accountability partner. So you must have the book should come out this quarter. The title is "What's Your Why?" What's your why? So I identified that when we talk about, so where are you running away to? When we talk about why, I discovered that, well, of course, that why is an acronym. W-H-Y. But I also discovered that this acronym, that why is both psychological and physiological. It's both psychological and physiological. And the psychological aspect of why, has both negative and positive. And then the physiological, that's the practical aspect of why, also has negative and positive. What do I mean? Now, what I mean is, when we talk about the psychological why, now, why means psychologically, that is in your mind. What hurts you? What hurts you? Somebody has said that before. What hurts you? That is the negative one. That is, what are you running away from? That's what it means. What are you running away from? What hurts you? You are running away from what hurts you. What now? What hurts you could be that, hey, I want to be a blessing to many, but I can't do that. I'm running away from that. It hurts me that I can't do that. What hurts you? But then the positive side of why, of psychological why, is what hypes you. What hypes you? What makes you happy? What is it that you're doing? Why? Well, if I'm able to accomplish this, I'll be so fulfilled. I'll be so joyful. What hurts you and what hypes you? So what hurts you is what you're running away from, and what hypes you is what you're running away to. Are we together? That happens in your mind. Where? Where does it happen? Where does it happen? It happens in your mind. And sir, you have heard it this evening that, see, anything that will settle in your hand must first settle in your mind. If it doesn't settle in your heart, it cannot settle in your life. It's as simple as that. Because the mind is where everything starts first. It starts first from your mind. That is where life starts. Keep your heart with all diligence, all hard work, because that's where life starts. So, and then of course you have, am I too fast? And then you have the physiological why. The physiological why is W-H-Y. What hounds you? Or what's hounding you? What is it that is pursuing you? You don't want it to catch up with you. You're pursuing you. What's hounding you? What's hounding you? Are they critics? Are they bullies? Are they naysayers? What is hounding you? That, hey, you don't want to catch, so that's what you're running away from. And then, of course, you have the positive side of your physiological why, which is what hails you. What's hailing you? Say, hey, I'm waiting for you here. He's coming for you. Say, come on now, we're waiting here. Just come over. What's hailing you? You need to answer those questions. Are we still friends? So what's your why? What's your why? And then, of course, how? How do you intend to do it? How do you intend to get there? How? What's the strategy? What's the stamina you need? What do you need? So, number one thing you need, in order for you to run, you need visual preparation. Visual preparation. You know, that scripture says, sir, he said, write the vision and make it plain. Write the vision and make it plain. That is, what you want to accomplish must be plain before you. You know, there's some things I want to do. I said to myself at the beginning of this year, I said this year I want to make my first $1 million. My first $1 million. And I'll design the check, write the $1 million, and paste it on the wall. Write the vision. Am I correct? And make it plain. That is, be bold enough so that when you wake up in the morning, you see it. Look at Jesus. For the joy that was set before him. So he was seeing the joy. He was seeing it. So it's visual. And at times, see, the visual preparation, you know, could be a visionary preparation. Just like God said to Abraham, you know, when he said to him, he said, Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, I will give it to you. Now, what God was saying, because he knew that there's no way that Abraham will see the whole of Israel, but what he was saying is, hey, now, even though that what you can see visually and what you can see visionarily or imaginatively. So, ma, what you want to achieve this year? Have you written it down? It's preparation. Do you have a picture of it? Somebody said, you must have a picture of your future that you want to feature. Have a picture of the future you want to feature. It's not a rhyme. It's not a rhyme. It's not a rhyme. If you don't picture it, you won't feature in it. It's not a rhyme. It's a reality. So I said to myself, this is what I want to. Now I have a picture of the car, of the type of car I want to buy for my wife. I have a picture of it, downloaded it, printed it, put it on the wall. I have a picture of the housing estate that I want to have, both here in Nigeria and America. I have a picture of them, and I said, put it there. Say, write the vision and make it plain, so that when I wake up in the morning, I'm seeing it, and I'm calling it into manifestation. And so what will happen is, now, the more I see it, the more I say it, the more opportunities will open up for me to accomplish it. Are we still friends? So visual preparation. You must have a picture of what it is that you want, of that goal that you want to accomplish. So what we have been taught here today is not a waste of time. Please don't go back home and then close this book and then it's another seminar, and then you're waiting for next year or the one that's coming in April, and then we don't want you to come back in April. When is the next one? We don't want you to come back in April still looking like this. Are we still friends? Could you ever say to your neighbor, I don't want to come back in April and still see you like this? Tell someone, say, I don't want to come back in April and see you like this. Okay, since the daddy wants to say to yourself, say Sukanmi, I must not come back in April and meet you like this. Because there is more to you in God than this. And there is more in God to you than this. Have a picture. You must have a. Now, when you get back home today, go and Google something, whatever it is whatever the picture is, just Google it and just put it there. Just print it or look for any magazine that you see cut it out and paste it. whether your office or wherever, whether on your computer, just space. So whenever you open it, zoom, your future is beckoning you. Your future is hailing you. Your future is hailing you to come. Your future is helping you to come. Are we together? Visual preparation. Number 2, you need to have what I call mental and emotional preparation. Mental and emotional preparation. Let me say this, friends. You need mental toughness. Mental toughness. Can I say this? There's a relationship between mentality and emotionality.